My peoples, what's good? I'm sorry for coming on a little late, but I was trying to get my camera to function. Was working fine, and then just stopped working. So you're gonna have to see the thumbnail of me for those of you who came to see my lovely grill. For those who came for the 1 second, I did the same shit yesterday. I hope to do the same thing today. Mick, I will now. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Anyhow. I may not have the function of my camera for this evening. Nevertheless, you'll have the words coming out of my mouth in addition to the thoughts in my head. But more importantly, I mean, if you guys would like to discourse, I would rather this be a conversation than you guys listen to me blabber along. So if you guys feel away, I mean, like I said in my past videos, anybody can say whatever you want on this channel. Perfectly fine. Even if I'm offended, or who cares? You know, people need to be offended at times to get to the truth, I guess. And I'm never one to shy away from that kind of stuff. And if I get too offended, I'll just offend you if I have to. But there's gonna be none of that here. I mean, like I like to chop things up with the populace and see how you guys are thinking. If you guys came here for election talk, the title of the video, I'm glad you came here. That's one of the things I think we should talk about most candidly, being that we're scratching at 1 week away from this election coming up. I didn't look at any polls yesterday. I didn't read much Twitter or much news because I had some personal stuff going on running around as of today. But as of yesterday, I said it on this video that a lot of the polls indicate that Trump is tied in some of the swing states, which are like some of the most important indicators of who can win an election. These swing states that are toss-ups, these 7 swing states. In years past, the conservative or Republican candidate would not look so good on the popular vote. A lot of times leading up to the election, they would be behind in these swing states, and then they would have to play catch up after the fact. So, for instance, Trump was way behind Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election, in addition to being somewhat behind to Biden in these same swing states in the 2020 election. Now, in the same amount of time as far as days out, I guess they do the measurement the weekend before the election, I guess, like where the candidates stand. However, in this year's stage, which I guess they measured Sunday, and the polls came out Monday indicating that Trump in these swing states where the Republicans would normally be trying to play catch up, Trump is actually in a virtual tie with Kamala in these swing states. I see a lot of the fanfare behind Kamala dissipating. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel it as well. The polls could tell you what they want. The expert class could tell you what they want. I'm telling you guys, like I said yesterday, in terms of like people in the hood, like my hood, like in Brooklyn, letting it off and like letting people know that they're for Trump, that wasn't happening as much as it has been happening in the last like 3 or 4 months. You know, and I'm not saying that there was no Trump support in my neighborhood, but if there was Trump support, it's kind of like Trump support online. You know, you don't want the backlash at times, and you don't want to let people that you are not aligned with everything that leftist lunatics are aligned with, to where you could potentially be getting called a racist, even if you're a Black or a Latin man. You know, a couple months ago in the hood, my hood even, and people in my hood actually know me. I've actually had people that legitimately know me and make it seem as if they're more virtuous than me based on the fact that I was not signing up for the leftist lunatic agenda in terms of my politics. And this has been the case before Trump was even on the scene. In fact, I didn't want Trump to win in 2016. This is more when I was contending at a local level with the politics at a local level. And no, this had nothing to do with candidates. This had to do with policy issues, gentrification, namely, which I was contending with before you guys even knew gentrification was a thing. And this is me as a young man. You guys see what it is. I'm old, but I'm not that old. I mean, like, I've been calling these things out from Jump Street, living in New York. I know what befalls minorities living in New York because I'm a fucking minority who's from New York. I still have family members who are minorities living in New York, i.e., my mom or my brother, who's now who's now changed his residence from Brooklyn to Rikers Island until he gets sent to jail for 3 years in the next couple of days. Or my other brother who lives in the street in my neighborhood, who's a drug addict. So anybody who's gonna try to like throw some statistic or some observation they hear on MSNBC or even Fox, like get the hell out of here. Like a lot of these cats that are a lot of times talk online, live online solely. And granted, listen, I'm online a lot as well. I read Twitter a lot as well, but I also live another life in addition to and I try to be observant as I carry on the day to day while I'm out and about. Like I don't get if I'm emotional, I can't be observant. If I'm pissed off, I can't be observant. A lot of you cats, it seems like y'all leave out the house like thinking that y'all gonna be a victim to a cop or some shit or to a white guy with a pickup truck. Like, I mean, granted, we don't have white guys in pickup trucks in New York, but to live like a pussy because white people exist, I mean, it's just not nothing I wanted to teach anybody who looks like me, but it's nothing I'm taught my kids. Mind you, my son actually saw a fucking cop be an asshole to me in 2015, and my son was with me. Total prick. But what I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go into outright war with a department that I can't beat? No. I mean, they don't like. Otherwise, like for the most part, they don't notice me, and I don't want to be noticed. I don't want nobody to notice me, in spite of the fact that I'm on YouTube as we speak. But that stops me from getting harassed. I mean, like I don't like to get their attention. Now, from my experience, do cops tend to bother Latin and Black people more? Like as far as like pulling them over more frequently? You name it, harass them more frequently, arrest them more frequently. Does that happen? Absolutely. But that was happening in New York, and New York's been liberal since I was a kid. So, I mean, shouldn't we fix our house first if that's the case? I mean, in an immediate level. But no, everybody, a lot of people are very dour about politics and all politics are bad. Like, fuck both these candidates. And then when it comes to a couple months away from the election, I mean, it's the same thing every 4 years. I get people trying to guilt me into voting in one direction or another. Meanwhile, these same people a couple months before that are telling you like how you should be black pilled and nothing works for, minorities and don't vote. And the people that are usually trying to excite me into voting late in the year, 100% of the time are trying to get me to vote Democrat, and I'm just not doing it no more. And listen, I made a resolution today, and anybody who doesn't vote, you could still speak on elections. I mean, just because you don't believe in the process doesn't mean that you can not talk about the process. And I truly don't believe in the process. I mean, let's be really candid, guys. Come on. And don't bring up court cases. Like, see, because I bring up this contention and people say, oh, what about all these court cases that were, you're telling me that you deny, like, all right, like before I get to my point, let's breathe, my peoples. Inhale. Exhale, my peoples. That was an exhale sound. But listen to me, people. Everything you've been told by the mainstream media is 100% false. The example I utilize on this platform the most is regarding that shot they were telling you to take, which would stop that dangerous cold that was spreading around in 2020. They completely lied regarding everything about that. Now, before somebody responds, well, people died. Like, yes, I know people that died personally. Shout out to all the people. Like, I'm not gonna name names. I know I have friends that died, like personally. Look up the stories of what was happening in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, during that time during COVID. So for anybody who's tries to sensationalize and like get emotional, oh well, people actually die. People die from everything. But it's not every time in which you're forced, be it to keep your job, to retain your military service, to maintain your status as a worker in the airline industry. Those people that were mandated in mass, a lot of them against their will. That's not right, and that's my biggest bone to pick. I mean, of many. But a couple of months ago, even, or a couple of years ago, I mean, if I were to say anything that suggested something otherwise, any asshole would have come and, like, if I would have suggested that I was anti-mandate, let's say, any emotional asshole would have lined up 2022, let's say, 22 November. Let's say we're in November 2022, a long, long time ago, 2 years. Nobody could remember 2 years ago when they forced you to drink the tea. So it's so long ago. Let me see if my camera works though, so I can make sorry. Now, in 2022, a lot of times I'm making these same points I'm making now, and then I'd have some emotional asshole line up and like, oh, people actually died, or like all these like or oh well, you're gonna align with all these fascists that aren't don't believe in like that don't believe that this is a real thing, like just a bunch of bullshit. So you basically sequestered people from not being candid about the subject for the better part of 2 years, only to now find out that things weren't safe and effective. You could have lived had you just walked around and received sunlight like normal humans do, like to remain healthy. Could have just taken that advice that your grandparents did, like when they worked in their yards and were fit as a fiddle. No. For some reason, you had to inject yourself, and by force, mind you, like you had to inject yourself to retain your job in some cases. But we couldn't talk about these things candidly. So now people forget that you were censored hard body a couple months ago, and now they try to get you to censor yourself by way of emotion, by making it seem as if your political choosing makes you some sort of racist or makes somebody better than you because they pick somebody better than you. Like, nah, it's not the case, my brothers and sisters. Listen, right now everything's falling apart. If there's any time to show your ass, it's now. If there's any time not to be a punk, it's now. What I'm seeing amongst the populace, a bunch of scared ass people. And I'm not dissing you. Listen, I can reason with people. You were pretty much stuck in your house from 2020 up until this point. You're probably still stuck in your house. I still see mask holes wearing masks in their cars by themselves and outdoors. Fools. But to say that things didn't change from that point till this point, like where everything was wrapped up in emotion. The candidate you picked, emotion. The whether you believed in the sickness or not, emotion. Listen, we got to take emotion out of everything, especially in the hood, especially you, black man, especially you, Latin man. You got a whole new group of minorities ready to replace us. If the replacement theory is true, it's happening right in front of you. They're taking one group that they lionized as a group, I'm talking about leftist liberals, replacing one group in which they enthralled and lionized as far as black people. Leftists love black people. And I'm talking about white leftists. Listen, nobody black runs anything when I say leftist. Nobody black runs anything within the left. Nobody black runs anything within the conservative part neither. Let's put our cards on the table. Nobody Latin runs anything in the leftist party. Nobody Latin runs anything in the conservative party. So, all right. So now that we got our cards on the table, we shall continue. Whew. I lose myself. Let me drink water in the meantime. Damn, I wish this camera worked, bro. And if anybody is in the comments, I have 5 people watching me, and YouTube be hating on your boy too, man. If you guys could please do like, share, and subscribe, and re-listen to my video yesterday. I described the algorithm wielded against me, what I feel is wielded against me, or what I feel is the algorithm propping up one of my enemies here on YouTube. If you guys want to find out who that person is, go listen to my last video and siphon through. It's 3 hours and a half. You'll have to Where's Waldo style find the things that I'm speaking about at this time. But shit, so long as you're watching my material. But listen, guys, I'm fighting against this algorithm, whether it's true or not. Like, you guys could help me, like, share, subscribe. But more importantly than that, I'd rather you guys comment. That way I don't seem like I'm talking to myself. There's still a lot being made regarding the Puerto Rican insult made by I think his name is Tony some shit, like Kill. So I don't know his last name, but I know he has a show called Kill Tony, which I couldn't recall yesterday. Now, listen, guys, I don't watch any of this shit. Like, I'm anti-leftist to the core, but that doesn't mean that I watch Fox. I don't watch Fox. To hell with Fox. I think Fox is worse than any liberal media, and all the liberal media is terrible. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that, because Fox at least has decent segments. Fox are more traitorous than the other networks. And I'll leave it at that. Because we only have one conservative network. So when you have one conservative network, people like automatically think that this is the most conservative shit that we could be talking about, when it's not a lot in most cases. Like with the drag queens, as much as I don't agree with that stuff around children, which it shouldn't be, if you want to be around kids as a grown man dressing as a woman, you got problems. And like, if we take a step back, I mean, everybody always talks about white men being degenerates and whatnot, but I see a lot of people that dress up as women, and it's 95%, if not more, white men that want to be reading around kids. That like the ones that want to be going into women's bathroom, for the most part, white men. The one that want to be reading to kids, for the most part, white men. The ones that want to be reading, as far as the people that dress, men that dress as women. So you want to, as a leftist, call out white men at every turn, except for the degenerate white men that are dressing up and forcing their way into reading to kids while they're dressed scantily. That's totally okay. Fuck out of here, guys. Come on. You guys want to play identity like politics when it's wrapped up in a little emotion, but give me a little bit of sustenance and we can't get 3 sentences deep. That's the problem with all leftists, man. I get into these debates on any YouTube platform, like with leftists, and all they do, or with people that defend leftist principles, and for the most part, it's just a deviation of subjects. Look over here. What aboutism? Oh, what about this? What about Trump? But what about Trump? What about Trump? But did you see that one clip of Trump that they said that? No, I don't see every clip of Trump. I find Trump's speeches to be boring, frankly. I know what he's had to offer, in spite of the fact that I want him to win. You know, I listen to your girl, though, because there's not much press regarding your girl. Probably like 10 hours total worth since she was announced as the candidate. There's not much to sift through. I sift through all of it. I was just finishing that Club Shay Shay interview she did with Shannon Sharpe. Embarrassing that this is who we have as far as the candidate. Now, listen, if you guys want to take a shot at Trump and say that he's not the preferred candidate, you go right ahead. But Trump actually won his nomination. Trump beat out a ton of other candidates to get his nomination. Whatever's happening with your girl happened by way of politicking. Now, again, minority man, minority woman, if you want to be referred to as that, these decisions, as far as let's remove Joe and like replace it for Cammy, that shit didn't happen at fucking Morehouse. You guys are tripping. That happened with a bunch of skinny, like pasty white people making that choice. Now, are there skinny white people that make choices in the Conservative Party? Absolutely. But you guys only look at race when it's outwardly. You guys don't look at race inwardly. Nobody that looks like a minority is running shit within anything leftist. So I rather we start anew. I rather, like I said yesterday, I rather act like as a so-called minority that I have no allegiances, which I really don't. There's no problem. I mean, like, I have no alliances. Fantastic. As a man, you shouldn't be looking for alliances at every turn. You should find your own way first, then look for alliances. And that's where we're at as minorities. We got to find our own way first. We can't be bitching about what somebody's going to do to us. We just got to defend yourselves from what anybody could do. Anybody who tells you that you should be turning in your weaponry is a clown. Anybody that tells you that we can't deal with the Goonies within our own realm that have weaponry is a clown. When I was young, the OGs were 40, 50. The people that would get you turned up were in their 40s, 50s. Like, if you have people in the hood that are in their late 20s that are like the supposed OGs, we got a major problem. We got some real revamping to do. So before you try to get emotional with the certified play ski, take that shit elsewhere. And if it comes to as far as my neck of the woods and my life experiences, if you want to compare piss streams on some street shit, wherever, which I mean, I don't want to do that anyway, though. I think we should just get to the issues at hand and like try to find solution. Like if we, a lot of times you try to contend any of these notions, and then people want you to defend some subject that has nothing to do with anything, like in relation to what you're discussing at the moment. And I mean, people want you to validate their emotions. I mean, I'm fucking emotionless about the shit that happens within my own house. Like, why the hell would I give like much emotion about shit that happens outside of here? I got to defend what's in here first, which it's harder and harder to do every day due to inflation, the wallet killer, due to criminality that's creeping everywhere. I live in a really nice neighborhood. Criminality is creeping up here. Trust me. These are the like I just don't want issues to be presenting themselves in front of me and mine. I moved away from Sunset Park, Brooklyn, so that I'm not around too much fucking stupidity. Now, why would I want like the migrant wave to come to my suburb now? It's ridiculous. Bugging. Hell no. I don't want no hood shit around me ever again. I don't want no fucking unexpected shit around me ever again. I like not that I'm not comfortable or not that I'm fucking scared of some hood shit, but hood shit is unpredictable. A lot of people that feel otherwise, you probably haven't gone into a real hood. You know your hood by way of YouTube or music videos. You ain't living fucking Section 8 like your whole life, like I had to, or scrap for food, or have rather than have conversations of what actress you wanted to screw or what car you wanted to drive, where you or your friends talked about would you rather eat a Whopper now or a fucking Big Mac? I had never even tried a Whopper until I was in my teens, bro. Talk to me about poor, bro. Or don't talk to me about no hood shit. Like fucking you smell me? Regardless, too, I don't care if you're a fucking square bear. You could talk about whatever the hell you want. Like we got to get into the a real standard in which people could just air out anything, and you could do that in this channel. To hell with my views, And again, guys, listen to my last video. I'll give you proof, and I'll actually show breakdowns of the proof of the algorithm working against her foul player of Brooklyn. But to hell with that. We have more important matters. We have the most important election of our times. We're in the craziest times of our times. Anybody that tells you otherwise, they're morons. Anything that was happening back in the day is happening now, if not worse. Our grandparents probably had it way better off than us. They actually knew how to grow shit. You can't grow a fucking thing. You can't even grow your own household for the most part. Our grandparents were dressed in suits. We dressed in jogging pants. Our grandparents own shit. We don't own shit. Our grandparents knew how to work land. We don't know how to work a fucking thing. Screens. Sorry, guys. Oh, I fucking got comments, bro. I can't even see these shits. Peace. Mr. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and More. My man is Bruce Gas, bro. I was in your neck of the woods. I have a friend who actually I told you I've been to your neck of the woods a few times already recently. I was actually considering going again to take my wife out there. But I found out that one of my buddies, Keith, actually lives out there. He's been living out there for a while too. I may try to get up with him next time I go. But shout out to you, Mr. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and More. If you guys please subscribe to my brother Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and More. He also does very good content regarding the botanicals. If you guys are into 420 conversations and whatnot, breaking down strains. Now, I don't partake myself, but I like to hear other people talk of whatnot. Who knows? Maybe in the future instances, Sir Falplayski could smoke a Sir Doobie, see what the big cahoot's all about. But if you guys are interested in that kind of a convo, please, and boxing as well. Bruce Gas is actually a jewel as far as the boxing talk in terms of. Oh shit, Bruce is still here, my friend. You heard all those compliments. I got a boxing trivia night tonight on my channel. I would like to contend, bro. Actually, no, I can't contend, bro. If anybody's like half of like or a quarter of like your knowledge, which there's a few guys that are pretty badass, like as far as boxing trivia, like you, Blood. I mean, like I can't contend with nobody like that. Like my trivia, bro, like Bruce, it's basically like around the time in which I boxed. And when I boxed, I wasn't even heavy duty into boxing, like as far as watching it, like I am in the later part of my life. Like I'm more of a post 90s, late 80s box knowledge, somewhat. This is going to be hard. No, I know, man. That's a table of titans in and amongst you, my friend Bruce. And I say that in the most respectful sense. I can't contend against you guys. You guys are monsters. They all complained it was too easy. Not tonight. No, make it hard. Name some of the people that were contending in the or the ones that were riffing. If I know any of them that were saying that it wasn't hard enough. But thank you for coming on, Bruce Gas too. Yo, Bruce, let me know if you're voting. You don't gotta tell me the candidate, my friend, but if you've elected to elect this year, or you're considering it, Blood is a heavyweight as far as contenders go. Oh, he was one of the people complaining, I'm assuming. Yeah, but if you're planning on selecting, let me know. I'm actually I think I've decided to not vote, but I am gonna attend the counting station. If I'm trying to be discreet, my friend Big Bruce, I can't stand Trump. Listen, Bruce, in terms of Trump, I didn't like Trump, honestly, bro, like till like 2018, 2019. As far as not liking, as far as even listening. Like in 2016, I didn't think he was going to have a chance to win. I thought before that he was super annoying or corny. The little I did see of him. Nowadays, as far as his speeches and whatnot, I don't listen to many of them. Like I'll try to listen to some excerpts, but I know what he's gonna say because he's repeating the same shit over and over. And I used to think that was boring and that he couldn't come up with shit, and it is boring to me because I've heard a lot of the same shit over and over. But there are admittedly a lot of people that are just coming to Trump now. That haven't heard these messages, so it makes sense to him in a sense to repeat it over and over, like for the first time listener. But Trump is a very boring in terms of like his speeches and whatnot, part of his base. But some people will allude to the fact that like the Republicans, conservatives, Trump always has a some sort of rootage or a part of the base. It has a racist undertone to it. But listen, there's a racist undertone to every base, bro. It's almost like telling me that New York liberals aren't racist. Meanwhile, like New York liberals have called the cops on me throughout the entirety of my whole life, or New York liberals have put my friends in jail, like when they were on the trial on the benches. But yeah, liberals can't be racist though, because January 6th or something. I don't know. Oh, Caramella is a flake, but it's the lessers of two evils for me. Yeah, no, I mean it, and I don't knock it either way. I mean, as the only thing I say, like with anybody, do your research. I'm not gonna vote. I do want to be nosy and see what the situation is at the counting station. Um, Particularly in my neighborhood, it's my right. I pay for the shit. So I do want to be nosy and see if things are on the up and up. The and just to see if there's anything that sticks out that I could maybe that looks sus, like maybe information that I could use at another time. But I wouldn't steer in any direction. I rather personally me, I want like Trump to win. Only because I love this land. I don't want to see this land do worse than what it is. Like my man Bruce, I'm gonna be candid. Like the dude that I know from that's around your way, this dude cannot stand Trump, bro. And I don't want to. You might even know this cat, bro. Because the reason I'm saying that you may know this cat is because I'm actually very familiar with that area now that I've gone there 3 or 4 times. And like Four Rivers, like little coast area, like where those houses are, is not that big. But he said his dad was actually on that same little strip. And I remember you showed me areas like from your personal life that look from like that on that little coast strip. So you may even know the family. The last name is Moniz. Like I don't know if you know them or not. I think he's part Italian and part something else. But the man hates Trump, bro, and he's doing bad right now. Bad. But he just can't get it out of his own. Yo, that's the day the dude even calls it like and I not that this dude is like my buddy like that. I mean, like, but yesterday on Facebook he calls that was the first time I heard that name, Mr. Bruce. I did see your comment. Let me keep I want to go through everybody's comments. Thank you for commenting, guys. I feel like I'm going nuts most times, bro. YouTube hates me and they don't send real people my way. How can anybody let his character slide? In terms of Trump, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you mean in terms of the character slide. Bruce, what up? My brother Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More. Yo, if you guys, either one of you want to come through, let me know too. Will you trust him alone with your wife or mother? Good question. But I as far as like leaving my women alone, I mean that's the policy here. The women here don't work. You gotta be housewives in Cell Player's house. If it was between leaving my wife alone with Kamala or Trump, of course I'm gonna go Kamala. This is a lady, and my wife could defend herself from her. But I do get the point though, what you're alluding to. I mean, is he unsavory around like women and whatnot? I'm pretty sure. Trump has done coke. The rich are have really strange practices, like when sexually, their entertainment, stuff that we wouldn't. If you and I, were to attend, we'd probably be grossed out by it. I can see Fall River from my window. No, I know you could. But I know that Fall River, like residential coastline, is not that expansive. Like unless it's different than the one I could see from the bridge, Bruce. Like when you go over the river and you could the bridge and you can see Fall River beneath. Is that the coastline? Which I think that's the coastline. For Fall River, like where like the residential coastline. But that's what I thought it was. The one that faces towards the Christmas tree farm place that I told you I stood at, Mr. Bruce. So that coast that faces that direction. I just wanted to see if that was the only coastline in Fall River. I don't know the area that well though. I don't go into Fall River much either. A little bit hood over there, Mr. Bruce. Like I'll usually stay in the little farm spot that I rent, or I'll go to that other town. Love! And whatever. I forgot the name of the other town. That boating town that's nicer with all the restaurants, Mr. Bruce. You'll know the name. You'll probably remember the name. That's 25 minutes, 30 minutes from like Tiverton. That's where I stay, Bruce, Tiverton. Jay, plenty of Monies around here, Jay. But would you trust him running your country? Yeah, I think I would. Oh, Bruce, my friend. Of course I'll let you on, bro. Before you come on to anything I talked about logistics, try not to give your own logistics away. Because remember, like what I just mentioned is somewhere I go in passing, but you actually live in the hood or in the area, and I don't want you to. But I put no. Yeah, what was the area that we went to the restaurant that I talked about today? Newport, Rhode Island. Newport. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Newport, Rhode Island, Mr. Bruce. Yeah, but Michael Johnson, Bruce Gas, if you guys, either one of you guys want to come through and discuss, we could, my friends, or anybody else. Listen, I'll put the link out there for anybody. Yesterday, I put the link out after the fact. I sometimes don't see these comments for some reason, man. Like, or honestly, I don't even know how to talk with people commenting on my shit simultaneously because Surf Out Place, you don't get no love, my friends. You guys. My camera's still not working. Oh, there you go, Mr. Bruce. How you doing, Mr. Bruce, guys?
There we go, Mr. El Surf Out Player. How we doing, my brother?
Good, my friend. Enjoying the cold weather.
You know, it's part of life, man. In fact, this week is an amazing part because the trees were green earlier in the week, and all of a sudden it's like overnight, bango, fall was upon us, and now all the leaves are falling down. It's like amazing in 1 week. Talk about a change of the seasons, man.
Yeah, but, you got to enjoy it because it's the last reminder of summer, and then things start getting whack. But you got to be at home.
But getting to the topic at hand, I can't stand Donald Trump. I never could, man. I watched him in the 80s as a realtor in New York City, screw people over. I watched him on Oprah. I mean, you know, he was just a clown to me. I never took him seriously. And then when I heard he was running for president, I said, no fucking way. I said, nobody in their right mind. This is like a TV show over here. This is a bad movie script. I cannot believe half the country fell for his freaking bullshit, and they thought they were part of the Apprentice, and they voted him in. And you know, he came in last time. He didn't have the Senate and the House behind him or the Supreme Court, and now it's different, man. Now he's got all these crazy loyalists in the different branches of government, especially the Supreme Court. I mean, he's not going to come in like he did last time. He's going to come in, like he said, from day one. I mean, he's not going to you know, go and get a sandwich or you know, check out the old bathroom. And he's going to start right from day one deporting people. He wants to be a freaking emperor, man. This guy's crazy. This guy's nuts. He's a convicted rapist. He's paying this woman $14 million for a civil suit because he raped her, man. I mean, $14 million. Think about that.
The New York broad?
Yeah. You don't just pinch somebody in the ass and pay $14 million, man. This guy's a freaking nut.
I'm not sure if you're aware of that case too. Like they had to change the law, like so it could retroactively like fit in within the time frame, like where I guess like normally you would have like 3 years where you would have to file a case. They had to retroactively change the New York law, like for that case to pop off. Whether it was true or not, it could have been true. It could not be true. I don't want to make that judgment, but
the case is it's concluded. So civil case is concluded. He was found guilty. Yeah. He had to pay $14 million. I can't think of her name. Was it Ruth Carroll?
I think it was Carolyn.
Yeah, well, but whatever it was, man. I mean, he was found. He was convicted of it, and it's the same thing with his criminal convictions. 37 of them, man. I mean, the dude is the dude swindled people. He falsified documents. He overvalued his properties. And you want this guy running the country? I mean, he stole nuclear secrets, man, when he left last time. This fucking guy doesn't deserve to run a fucking dog pound. And I say that lightly because I love dogs. But I mean, this guy scares me. This time around, he's coming in hard, man. I'm glad I'm glad I'm 70 years old, bro. I'm not going to have to deal with the shit that the rest of the country is going to have to deal with because it's going to be a bad time. And I seriously think he might get in. You know, there's enough gullible people out there that are gung ho. You know, I see people in my neighborhood. I see Trump flags. I see I see the fucking the banners in front of their houses, and I mean, it's going to come down to the wire. But if Trump gets in, man, this country is in for some serious trouble.
I mean, the way I look at it, I'm already in this shit. Like, as far as like the how things are flowing currently. Like, if we continue down this path, like I'm cheap, Bruce. I'm cheaper than, and I wasn't always cheap. Like, I'm the one that does every bit of food shopping in my house, because I think, like, if somebody else does it, like, not that they'll butcher it, but I could do it a little bit better, because I just know how to navigate like a budget, like, in that sense. And like, I just feel like I'm losing my way with trying to manage stuff that I was managing really comfortably a couple years ago. Now, did Trump make that pop off and make it comfortable for me? No, but I would just rather, like, whatever is happening, like what's causing our runaway inflation, the flow of migrants that are coming into New York City like crazy. If anybody could put a stop to that, like, or anybody suggesting like a solution in that direction, I go with that person. I'm personally like want that person to win. I'm not voting either. And but with Kamala, it's just that she hasn't detailed anything. Anybody has a chance to win my vote if they speak my language. God bless you.
I'm smoking some bombs right now.
Any good?
Oh, are you kidding me? Primo. I have top shelf weed, and I fortify it with this concentrate. It's called Crumble. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Like those crystals?
No, Crumble.
I don't know. I see my cousin put crystals on.
I'll show it to you. What the hell, man? A picture's worth a thousand.
My camera doesn't work though.
But see, this is it comes in a little. This is orange Crumble.
I've seen that. Yeah. My cousin has those as well. It's like a little orange block, right?
Yeah, and then this is the blonde one right here. And what you do is you can handle this stuff. You can pick it up. It's not gooey or sticky or anything. And it's called Crumble because it crumbles. And you take a piece and you crumble it right with your herb. And man, I'll tell you, fortified weed. Every hit I take, I'm on another freaking plateau.
Yo, if you smoke regular like top shelf, like you don't like, do you feel fucked up, or you just feel a little something?
No, I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, some
my
people
cousin was complaining that he don't normally feel high any longer.
Well, I don't know. You know, high is that's kind of a relative term, but I'm high almost all the time. You know, I don't drive high, but when I'm sitting home, when I'm walking around, when I'm out and about, I always got a good buzz on, because it's changing my attitude, makes me more acceptant and more tolerant of different attitudes, and you know, I could stand before a judge and I could argue a parking ticket stoned, you know, because it doesn't affect me like it affects some people. It more relaxes me, makes me think a little clearer, and I don't know, man. The power of the herb, I think it has anti-carcinogenic properties, anti-aging.
So as far as politically, honestly, was your expectation that by this threshold or at this stage that it would have been legalized with Biden in office the past 4 years? I thought it would, like, they would have thrown us a bone in that direction. Like, I hate seeing people get locked up.
Well, bro, I mean, Donald Trump, your man, he signed the farm hemp bill. You familiar with that?
No.
Okay, what that was that declassified the cannabis plant and broke it down into different components. One of them was CBD, one of them is Delta 8, one is Delta 9, and another one is THCA. It's trihexychlorobenide acid, but it's got the A at the end of it. And it's not a psychoactive component. It contains less than 0.0% THC. See, THC, the cannabis has to be decarbolized. Now, this isn't Trump's bill. This isn't my words. It has to be heated before it becomes illegal. So you can sell THCA hemp. I get it through the mail. I buy it online. It's the real deal. But Trump signed this farm bill, declassified it. because and the people want to have hemp farms. They want to use it for other things. They want to make plastics out of it, cloth out of it, paper.
So are his policies good? Like from what
you
said?
You didn't even know what the fuck he signed. One of his cronies put the bill in front of him.
No, but was it good or bad? Like, was it more?
Oh, it's a great. No, it's the only good thing he did in office. It's a great bill. It decriminalized it because see, it's THCA, and you get a good lawyer, they can argue that before any judge because the federal government signed the law into effect that THCA is legal in all 50 states.
I see. And what do they use THCA for? Is that something that is an active ingredient?
It's no difference whatsoever. The stuff you used to buy 30 years ago on the street is THCA. They just reclassified it.
Oh, I see. That's a good thing then, Bruce.
Oh, it's a great thing, but Trump had no idea what he did.
That's all good, bro.
And a lot of local governments who control the cannabis industry in their state, they don't like this because people are going online. I mean, you can get an ounce now for like $65-70 that you would pay $200 for in a dispensary run by a state government. So I mean, they don't like this, but this is the law, and this is a good thing that Trump did. But they're trying to take it back and have it reclassify it and everything. But as far as going to jail for marijuana now, that should be a non-issue. If you have a good lawyer who knows the law, it's legal. It's not illegal anymore. It's cannabis. It's not. They don't even use the M word on these because there's a lot of sites that talk about it. They don't even call it marijuana. They call it cannabis.
They should probably do away with that if it's legal. If the term if THCA is illegal too, they should probably just to get us away from these algorithms too, like so we can converse about these things. I didn't know about that THCA thing though. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. All you have to do is Google THCA, buy it online, go look at it. It'll have the buds and everything, the pictures of the buds, but it's called THCA, and it's the real deal. I mean, it's people don't really know about it, and I hear I don't want that THCA. That's that government stuff. That's no good. I'm like, dude, it's the same fucking thing. Don't even think twice about it.
Bruce, have you ever tried damn, I don't even know if I can say it online. Spaghetti and mushrooms, but the ones that make you see stuff?
Oh shit, yeah, man. Back in the 70s, man, I had a connection. I was getting those by the pound. The guy was delivering them to me in these coffee cans, airtight, and I'd open them up, and oh man, I probably had mushroom omelets every morning for probably 6 months. I mean,
but you don't Jones for it, right? Like you don't say, "Oh, I want to fucking like have a mushroom omelet," like you do, like, "Oh, I want to have a joint."
Bro, it was like it was just so common back in the 70s that we were tripping every day. Not a good thing. I couldn't do that today. I don't even think I'd even do any mushrooms anymore. But I was doing them every day. I was going to classes and stuff. And I was fucking.
The times I've seen people do it, they look like jelly, bro. Like they can't even control themselves. Just laughing though, laughing, and bugging out, like fucking scared, laughing.
Well, that's the whole thing. It takes a strong mind to master the art of doing drugs. You have to be able to understand that the drugs don't do you. You do the drugs. No matter what drug it is, you have to be in control of it at all times. You have to respect it, not abuse it. And that goes especially now. I mean, you got that opiate crisis because the nobody respected it. Nobody knew how powerful that the poppy was. And look what happened. It became an epidemic. Doctors were thrown in jail. Fucking a whole generation of zombies. And now you got the fentanyl, fucking xylocaine people walking around. I mean, it's a mess. But see, that's it. A strong mind will know to stay away from that because look at it. Look at what it does to people. But yet there are people who still continue doing it, knowing it's a one-way street with a lot of drugs. But as far as the shrooms go, man, you just have to understand. That's what they do is they play with your chromosomes and you hallucinate, you feel good and giggly and everything else, but your conscious mind should know that what it's doing and be on top of the situation. People flip out because they let it control their emotions, they let it take over. But nope, you got to understand that it's going to go away in a little while.
Yeah,
enjoy it. You're in charge. It's not going to hurt you. Don't hurt anybody else. but you have to monitor with, and that goes for all mind altering substances.
Yeah. A lot of the shorties that like back in the day, like for the most part in the club scene, like all of those girls like in the New York clubs at 4:00, 4:30 in the evening. I mean in the morning, like clubs usually close like at 10 or 11 in the morning, and at 4:30 you'll have like a wave of fucking all the exotic dancers would fucking spill into their club like in street clothes, because they were getting off of work. But all of them had fucking problems with the white stuff, but they were well put together. I mean, like you wouldn't see them like fucking I mean, some of them did have like legit drug problems, and they were fucking smoking, bro. I'm talking about
Well,
girls
dude, the thing is, they can get away with it for a little while, but the longer you do it, the more it's going to take. It's going to take it's going to take a toll on your body, because there's no pretty old coke heads, old crack heads. I don't care if you get some girl who's in their early 40s and she was the prom queen. I mean, she's going to look like a toothless old hag if she's doing that stuff for 15 years.
No, these are girls. These are Bruce. These are girls that are working in Penthouse Strip Club in the West Side of Manhattan, executive shit, like Scores that had like some. I'm not saying all of them had severe drug problems. Most of those girls had a coke problem, but they were well put together, and they had fucking, you could say like they could talk about finance and everything. I mean, but then you had other ones that, their uncle fathered them when they were young, and you could tell, like fucking.
Oh yeah, and you look into those heavily, and you'll see a lot of those beautiful young girls who are doing great. They end up committing suicide. They end up getting fucking murdered. I mean, it's a crazy life when you involve hard narcotics in your life. It's not going to be normal. I mean, you're not going to succeed. The drugs are way too strong. You can get away with it for a little while, but if you tempt fate, sooner or later, fate's going to fucking take over, bro. And believe me, I know it. I pretty much know every drug that you can imagine, from the opiates to the fucking psychedelics to the smokables to the shootables, the snortables. I mean, I've been through all that shit. But you see, now
Fall River's kind of hood too, Bruce. Like you,
I've been to Fall River at sunrise having a score of weed, man. Believe me, I know what it's like, man. I live in a great area. I grew up in a very, very easy life.
That shit ain't sweet. No, and I've actually because I've heard that name Fall River. I've started going there, Bruce, like in the last 3 years. But I remember my friend actually had family in Fall River before I even went there. Like I've heard people talk about it, but when I've gone now, I mean, shit ain't sweet out there. You see people with drug problems. You could tell it's not cheap either. I mean, it's not a cheap area. Like you can't buy a house for probably under $4 out there.
No, it used to be cheap. Now it's nothing's cheap anymore.
Oh, that shit! I know for sure that shit ain't cheap now. Anything northeast, bro, is fucking goddamn jip.
No, but Fall River, that was like the city. Providence was too expensive. My area, the East Bay, was too expensive. Even the low income Warren, Riverside. So everybody seemed to went to Fall River. You could get an apartment for $500. 10 years ago. Now forget it. Now it's double that, triple that.
Yo, Bruce, did you ever go to that dispensary that's right when you cross over to Tiverton on that main road and you go into the next town over? I don't know if it's Fall River though. Not when you get, how if you leave Tiverton, you could get out that and jump on the highway. It's like 20 something.
Yeah, there's you got Freetown, you got shit, man. You got Somerset, you got Swansea. It
was on the main, there's a main street in Tiverton, and if you kept going on that main street and get out of Tiverton and go into towards that direction of the highway, but don't jump on the highway, it's on that main street. I think it's called Main Street, and it's right after you leave Tiverton. I saw a dispensary there, maybe 4 blocks right outside of Main Street, Tiverton.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them around here. You got Solar, you got Northeast Alternatives.
I saw that one too, Northeast Alternatives.
I don't deal with those places because they usually they're expensive, and
actually, don't tell me. I don't want to blow up your shit, bro.
What?
Yeah. No, I was gonna ask you but don't tell me how you acquire the your stuff.
Online, man. It's
yeah.
I mean,
Your big favorite?
I go to a place called bulkweedus.cc. I took a chance on them about 7-8 months ago, and man, I mean, these guys are right on.
That's cool.
You spend $100, they give you $10 of free product. You know, 20. I'm sorry, they give you like 20 of free product. So it's like such an incentive, and I mean, it's mind-blowingly cheap. Just go on their site and check it out. It'll be like, what the hell do I need a dispensary for? These guys come right to my door, Cash App and everything, you know.
Nice. Yo, let me get back into my political discourse.
All right,
I want to get more regional though. Oh, what time's your game?
World Series is on tonight. I'm doing a trivia at 9:30, so I got to get moving myself. But
okay, yo, no, real quick though, because I didn't go into Fall River proper outside of going to the fucking Lidl or the supermarket and like the Chipotle. But are you guys getting like migrants over there, like or an increase in migrants like that's noticeable? Like,
yeah, a few, but not to the point like New York City and Boston. But
I didn't see any either in Freeport. But Freeport's real yuppie though, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Or Newport, whatever.
But there's a few homeless people that they got tents set up, so you don't know if it's migrants in there or just regular homeless people. Because
that's always so many, right?
Yeah, and you got so many Spanish people in Fall River anyway. You got Puerto Ricans, you got Portuguese, you got South Americans, Brazilians. Fall River is really an international city. I mean, dude, the food there is unbelievable. Oh, you would not believe the restaurants in Fall River.
I'm gonna go into Fall River this time. I kind of just stay in the little farm, or I go to Newport. Yo, next time I go out there, Bruce, you gotta link up with me, bro. Like, I'm gonna get your email too. Fucking, I'll treat you to a beer, bro. Like, I can't partake in the botanicals, my friend, but definitely.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my phone number right in the private chat. You can just write it, put in your number so you're checked in there.
You got it, my brother. Like, next time I go out there, like fucking, I usually go for like 3 or 4 days only. Like, I got a little project that I gotta do out there though, but I'll treat you to a beer and lunch.
Just send me a text, bro. I'll know who's calling me.
Oh, you know that restaurant, the Black Goose, some shit like that in Tiverton? It's on that main road. It's like a little lunch place. Black Goose, some shit. Like fucking damn. It's like right next to like a big ass like lake or pond. Like look like a little body of water that you could see right from the highway in Tiverton though. You know how Tiverton you can't always see the water from that main highway, like that main road. There's a small little restaurant. It's called Black some shit. Like and it's right on a little body of water. I mean, right near a body of water that you could see right off that little main street though. But if you like, that'd be a cool place if you want to catch up with me there. Like fucking next time.
That's only 15 minutes away. That's 15 minutes away from me.
Yeah, I figured that much. Oh, we go to Newport, bro. We'll go over there. You know what I'm saying,
bro?
Bruce, nice talking to you. Give him hell too, bro. Don't make it easier on these clowns, bro. Like, give him hell with this trivia night, my friend. Make these questions doubly hard.
All right, Mr. Foul Player. I'll catch you later, brother. Peace.
Thank you, Bruce. Have a good night, man. Let me see. Michael Johnson. Well, why didn't you come through, Mike, bro? Like, leave it. Like, you part of the trifecta too, my brother. Yo, but damn. Actually, yeah. Let me keep blabbing along though. I gotta, next time I go up to the Northeast though myself, I gotta check out Boston. I'm dying to see if Boston got a big time wave of the migrants. Like, but last time I did go to Boston was during the pandemic. And Boston looked like complete shit from what I normally remember it. Boston, again, if you guys don't know, is my favorite city outside of New York City. Love that town. But that town, my friends, ladies, gentlemen, has gone to shit. Damn, bro, why my camera working? The gods are working against me, my friends. You see what happens when you, as a Puerto Rican man, when you try to talk conservative talk on YouTube, what the powers that be will do to you. See what happens? Yeah, I'm about to dip off anyway to Michael Johnson boxing talk more. Yo, and I want to talk Puffy talk or Diddy talk. Pause. Next time with you, Mike, because I know you're on that subject too. I like to give you my perspective from the little I know. I don't know shit about the Diddy circle like that. I do know about the club circle here in Manhattan, and there's mad shady shit in the club circle in Manhattan. For instance, a lot of people, I was made aware that the Kit Kat Club, and I think I've actually been to the Kit Kat Club, was actually owned by not Epstein. What was that other bitch? That Ghislaine Maxwell, the lady, Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend. And the Kit Kat Club was popping, and it wasn't no bullshit club, and that was solely hip hop club. When I say hip hop club in New York, like at that time in the 90s, especially, you're talking about hip hop clubs that you had to go with like shoes. A lot of people fur coats. Like the Knicks would go to like the Kit Kat Club. But for it to be owned by the girlfriend of this person who is alleged to have honeypot operation, or an operation that entraps people, important people. If you guys don't know, Jeffrey Epstein is widely accused of allegedly having a honeypot operation, an operation in which you make it convenient or really accessible for somebody who's within your care or in your home, in your club, if you will, to have them put in a compromising situation. Say they're doing drugs, say they're cheating on their wife, or they're getting drilled in the ass. So Jeffrey Epstein is alleged to have operation in which he'd get people in compromised situations, and they would, I guess, to hold power over them, if you will. His girlfriend, though, Ghislaine Maxwell, who actually went to jail for some of the, I'm not sure her exact charges, but she was associated with him as far as his operation went. His girlfriend was the owner of this Kit Kat Club, and the Kit Kat Club was actually the club that Jay-Z had caught a case for when he stabbed somebody back in the day. He stabbed somebody who ran a record label called Entertainment. I think they were a managing company. His name was Lance Rivera. And the allegation is that Jay-Z had stabbed that individual in the Kit Kat Club. And Jay-Z actually went to court behind that. I'm just saying, in a far out world, per se, if Ghislaine Maxwell, who we happen to know is involved with Jeffrey Epstein, who's intimately involved in getting compromising information on people to hold power over them. Let's just say, for instance, because all these clubs have a lot of cameras, from what I know. Clubs in New York have been attempted to get robbed since I was a kid. Per se, Jay-Z did this stabbing allegation at this Kit Kat Club, and the only people that have legit video of it are now Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend. I mean, would that be so far out to consider? Absolutely not. And these people go to clubs all the time. I mean, Justin's Puffy's restaurant was right down the block from the club I used to fuck with. Not Speed, Deep, Club Deep. But all these buildings, you don't know what goes on in them too. I was talking to my son about them. Like, a lot of these, there's buildings in New York that are 40 stories high, and you'll never see one person go into it. There's buildings on 42nd Street in Manhattan that are that big, and you won't see a soul go into them. Would it be crazy to believe that parties happen in these buildings? Actually, no. I was telling my son, there's actually a place in downtown Manhattan called Citadel, I believe. And it's like an old looking bank or church. And I always pass by. I never seen it open, but I always saw the sign outside, and it said Citadel, I believe. But it looked like a club sign. but I never saw anybody go into it day, night, whatever. And out of nowhere, there was a DJ from the electronic music scene that I knew of that was going to be in New York, but it wasn't advertised normally in the places that I normally would catch news of these events at. It was advertised in God knows where. It just happened to just come up. But it was at this club called Citadel. So I was like, wow, like this DJ that I actually know is a big deal. He's going to be at this club that I've never been to and I've seen outside almost my whole life. But I don't know fuck all of what's inside there or how this place looks on the inside. My peoples, when they showed this place on the inside, this shit was like marbled out, lights, all this crazy, fantastical, like you couldn't not a dime to spare as far as like what you would feel like a club would look like. It should look like some Vegas shit. But that night, my friends, was in celebration of, I believe that was the second year where they started popping off Pride events officially, where they started officially celebrating Pride events, if you will. That was the second year of that tenure, and this was that event that I'm describing to you guys was an advertisement at that club where they were hiring this DJ that probably cost 15 grand to book him. One night, the only night I ever seen this place open was for an event in relation to the alphabet community and them having a good time and going dancey in New York City. But I've seen other weird club stuff too. Like, and you know, so next time, Michael, not next time, but one of these days, I'd like to discuss the Diddy stuff with you, like from what you know and like or what you've heard. Because I another thing too, I haven't heard. I haven't stood in tune like that, but I know that shit's gonna be a big deal. They just actually too, Michael, if you're still here, like, or anybody who's listening, Puff Daddy, in addition to Sam Bankman-Fried, the person who ran the crypto scheme, FTX, who's the second biggest leftist donor in the last election, who was in charge of the biggest crypto scheme in all time, built billions out of regular people. Probably money laundering scheme at best. But he's actually in the same jail as Puff Daddy is in the Brooklyn Federal Detention Center. And that's actually in my neighborhood in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. But they raided that jail yesterday. And it was, from what I heard, it was a group of different federal agencies. But when they showed the footage of them going in, they were going in through the front door, like with the visitors. It looked like maybe 15 people. So, I mean, if you have more than one agency, I mean, one agency would send 15 people in a bad scenario. You're going to tell me that the FBI would raid a federal prison, even in the best of scenarios, with 15 people? No way. And this was not just the FBI. I don't even think it was the FBI. That was the agency that raided the federal detention center in Brooklyn. I think it was being raided because there was allegations that there were drugs or I don't know, whatever. That's the official story, but the official story could always be a lie. Oh shit, commentary, my friend, watching TV. I'm here. Yeah, but no. I think I may have mentioned it in the past, Michael, regarding that jail being in my hood. But I don't know if you caught that story yesterday, Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More. If you guys could, please subscribe to my brother. I left the channel name there. But there was a story that came out yesterday or today that prison got raided. But in my next stream, I'm probably going to go into the Puffy thing. And the Puffy thing, again, is a lot of political intrigue in that. Like, Puffy been involved politically for a minute. Since I was a youngster. Puffy been fucking with that rock the vote that has only worked in one direction, and that's swinging votes towards the direction of the leftist. Puffy was just endorsing the same liberal bullshit talking line that every TV pundit been saying. Trump's a threat to democracy. Oh, we got to be a threat to democracy. Who are you endorsing? Oh, a threat to democracy. could you name the person? Oh, I'm not sure who I'm this, but I know I don't want to touch the democracy. But what about time they've been rated? It would like they as far as the day go, it was crazy though, Michael, because it was like a live report here locally, and it looked like it was happening as they were doing the report, but the shit wasn't deep like that though, and like there's an entrance, I guess, where visitors go or regular employees, let's say. But when the bitch was doing the report on the news, the dudes were in the cut, like in the background, moving into the building, or they had footage of them moving into the building, but they weren't raiding. It didn't even look like no raid, Michael. Like to call it a raid is like a misstatement, but they called it a raid, like the news. But it wasn't no raid like that. Like they didn't force their way in. It looked like they were going into like the door that they were walking into. It looked like they were going in with people that were either coming back for like a lunch break or people that were visiting their like relatives in that jail. But I mean, it didn't look like nothing crazy like that. I don't know. Who knows? Who's to say? I mean, I hope that they didn't or that the cameras are still functioning properly, like because you don't want an Epstein situation to happen, or a coincidence like that in which like Epstein's cameras happen to be not functioning at the time of his death, or the fact that the guards at the time of his death, I believe 2 of them were both sleeping at the same time. In addition to other coincidences that were strange. I just don't want a coincidence of the same ilk to happen to Puff Daddy or even Sam Bankman-Fried for that matter, because both of them are in a tenuous spot. To me, I mean, like the leftists are scrambling at a base level because there's a good chance their girl might not get in. But with all these entertainers getting washed up too, like you have 2 of them right now in a federal prison in Brooklyn, New York, a federal prison that just got raided by other bureaus for God knows what reason. I don't know. But you got these 2 people, one in Sam Bankman-Fried, who's the second biggest leftist contributor as far as donations go in the last selection. And you also had Puffy. I'm pretty sure he's a financial contributor in the maybe not in the ilk of the billions that or millions that Sam Bankman-Fried gave to Democrat causes in winning elections, but Puff Daddy has been pivotal in the Rock the Vote movement, which from its inception was all about getting the 90s entertained crowd or the 90s Generation X, Generation Y crowd into getting involved in politics. But I think it was a ploy to get people of my generation involved in politics, because people of my generation were the first generation that like came up rebellious, like, and loving rap. You had white people in my generation that also listen to rap. You had people, grunge came out in my generation. 80s rock came out in my generation, only to be done away with the better style of music and grunge or alternative, only to be getting done away by better rap than the shit that you saw in the 90s. Rap was evolving in the 90s, getting better. You know, so we were the generation that saw that. But politically, I mean, Puffy was, to me, at that time when he started fucking with that Rock the Vote shit or pushing that Rock the Vote shit, Puffy was the most established, serious artist who could push an election drive, if you will. Like, because the Rock the Vote thing wasn't pushing for one candidate at that time. Like, at that time, I believe that election in 2000 was probably Bush versus who. And the Rock the Vote thing, I'm pretty sure the powers that be, in addition to Puff, wasn't meant as an apparatus to push people into the direction of Bush. And I couldn't stand Bush in addition to whoever he ran against. I think it was Kerry. But the Rock the Vote thing, I think, was a push to get young people of my generation into voting, which would, by its nature get more people to voting Democrat. My generation, the women were some of the first that were saying that we were going to fuck what we want. By nature, you know they weren't going to have houses. You know they didn't want to be shamed and to stop being whores. The entertainment industry that Puffy is a part of became the biggest cheerleader into women becoming whores. Because I remember T-Boz and fucking Left Eye rapping about fucking sex and whatnot, but it wasn't no shit about like I'm a hoe and I'm a bitch and fucking. I remember MC Light. Fucking MC Light was fucking cute. Rapping about non-fucking degrading shit. And I'm not saying degrading shit makes you like the worst person and whatnot. Because again, like, you know, nobody black, nobody Latin runs anything to do with anything at any record label. If you think they do, you're an idiot. If you think Puffy was running anything as far as record executives go, you're an idiot. Puffy was given everything he has, and Puffy, along with every other entertainer, can get their shit taken away in a heartbeat. Look at Damon Dash. I'm not saying that Damon Dash is your typical entertainer, but at some point, Damon Dash and Jay-Z had similar money, except at this current juncture, Damon Dash, I'm not sure what his pockets are looking like now, but seemingly from the point that he divorced himself from Jay-Z or they divorced each other, up until this point, Damon Dash entered a period of having no money, where Jay-Z had a lot more money. But somebody selected for Damon Dash to now have no money, where somebody else selected Jay-Z to now be that dude. But to me, I mean, like this Diddy shit, like the more you scratch, the worse it gets. I mean, like, and then like the fact that it's tied in to New York, all these people are in bed with each other, like politically. All these parties happen either in Midtown Manhattan or in the Hamptons. New York, we have the biggest human trafficking problem in the history of mankind, or in the history of this country, popping off right now in New York City, under everybody's nose. You don't see one hooker outside up until recently, and we've had the biggest sex trafficking, human trafficking problem known to man, or known in America, which has only gotten worse with this migrant crisis. I mean, the migrant crisis, officially the numbers are over 300,000 missing and unaccounted for migrant children. That's how much these leftists give a shit about us. But that's how much leftists give one shit about Hispanic lives. You smell me? And I can speak for Spanish people. After all, I'm Puerto Rican. But let me dip off. I want to watch the rest of this World Series. Hopefully the Yankees lose and get swept. Can't stand the Yankees with all my might. I think they're one of the worst teams ever created. I mean, the Cowboys are up there too. But I can never let go of my Yankee hate. The Dodgers could eat shit too. Cornball ass team, cornball ass fan base, Yankee fan base, bunch of cornball ass dudes, corny team. Cowboys, hoey ass fan base. I hope I'm not alienating anybody here by saying any of this too. But my hate for the Yankees, it's up there, my friends. It's up there. I've almost gotten into scraps with childhood friends many times, my friends. Many times I've been kicked out of baseball stadiums for discussing Yankees Mets, where it looks like fists are gonna fly, or it looks like I'm pushing somebody over a chair or something like that. Many a times, my friends. But I love New York Met baseball. And a lot of times if I'm not on YouTube, or if I don't get the feeling the drive to come on YouTube is because I spent 3 hours wasting my time looking at a TV, watching a baseball game. My only source of entertainment, unless I could stream a boxing match illegally. But let me go, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to come every day until Election Day. Book it. But with that, I hope, and I'm not putting any particular time on it. If I come through, I come through if you guys want. And I'm glad you guys actually chatted with me, even though I know some of you people. Michael Johnson Boxing, Mr. Johnson Boxing Talk and more. Please subscribe to my brother Michael Johnson. Also, Mr. Bruce Gas Boxing Talk, Boxing Jazz and more. Please subscribe to my two brothers if you could. Also, in terms of yours truly, please like, share, subscribe. Help me beat this algorithm. The cards are stacked against us. If you were once a liberal like I was and are now waking up to the fact that we can only save ourselves. But nevertheless, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here on Halloween as well. Be careful. These are some evil times. Watch your kids, watch your pets. Not saying that because Trump suggested people were eating cats and dogs. Although, my peoples, I've seen certain countrymen eating cats, and no, it wasn't Haitians. Haitians are actually fantastic people. I've known many a Haitian in my lifetime. Haitian people are Gucci, bro. I mean, they're tough people. A lot of them are shitty ass sense of humor, pain in the ass. They come off very standoffish, but Haitian people are brilliant. Haitian people are fucking about their bread. Haitian people don't really fuck with you either, bro. Haitian people aren't about bullshit. Like, with the exception of like some fucking Americanized Florida cats, bro. Like Haitian dudes in New York, you never hear people bitching about them. Maybe they got a bad crop in Ohio or some shit. But that the Haitians weren't the country in which I saw eating cat. And actually, if you want to go to the logistics of where I saw the cat eating and the country of the people that occupy the area, you only need to look for 49th Street and 8th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, to the area of 60th Street and 8th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Any of those areas, put it on Google Map. You'll see the country that occupies it. I've seen them eating all kinds of things. Things that look like rodent. I'm not sure what. Unnamed proteins. You name it. But let me go. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. With that, God bless. Peace.